Hey, folks, welcome to another episode of the Dave and Kyle Show. I'm Dave, that's Kyle. Today, we're
Sir,
talking more about telehealth. So, we all know from our excessive talking about telehealth, you can all zoom in, talk with your doctor. But if you're a senior citizen, did you know that could all go away really soon? Keep listening.
March 31st supposedly is the last day it'll be covered. So we'll have to see about that. Thanks, Dave. So also thanks to the CEF for sponsoring. You just go to mycef.com, manage continuing education and license renewals for telehealth. So Medicare's telehealth benefits. Tell us a little bit about it. I know it's been a COVID thing that really sort of blazed the trail into telehealth being commonplace, but now it's supposed to end in just about a month.
Exactly. So, I'll share my screen here. It's an article from WCNC Charlotte about Medicare's telehealth benefits ending soon. But Medicare, if you don't know, it probably doesn't apply to you, but it's for older folks 65 and above. Congress currently, because of an act Biden signed actually a long time ago, Medicare or government insurance is paying telehealth services, seeing your doctor on Zoom, etc. But now it might expire. There's a lot of buzz on it in social media. If Congress doesn't act based on this article and other sources by April 1st, 2025, they're not going to cover it anymore. Just to ease your calm, if you're a senior citizen, this does not apply. This applies to you. So listen closely. If you're getting home dialysis care, if you're on an ambulance or an acute stroke unit, not that you would know about this at the time. And if you're seeing a therapist, like mental health counselor specifically for substance use. So a couple of niche situations where they're still going to cover it, but it might all go away. So what do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, these exceptions are nice, behavioral care, it's things like that. Realistically, though, the public health sort of advocate in me is screaming about this because if you're in a rural setting and you no longer have access to telehealth, you have to get into an actual physical medical setting to talk to your doctor about something, that happened to you. I'm like, oh, my stomach was upset. Let me talk to you about this. You have to actually go into a facility, all this sort of crazy stuff. So part of me is saying, hey, if you're in a rural area and you're part of the aging population that lives in these rural areas, there are other solutions. Perhaps, you could get, a neighborhood farm to say it's a rural medical facility, something like that to say, I'm in the office. And so, it's funny because even in the office, you could still have a phone call and only that would be, billable under some of these regulations. So there's clearly kind of loopholes and things like that. But, on the serious side of it, it's kind of cutting off access for people that potentially need telehealth the most, where it's not just easy to kind of hop right over and see your doctor in the office. So I don't love it. I think telehealth has been very much supported in a bipartisan way. So the Biden administration taking it from a December 31st deadline to an April 1st deadline, kind of kicking the can to the next administration. I don't love that move. So I'm excited to see what kind of support we get to extend that, make it actually permanent from here.
The other interesting part is the business angle for telehealth companies that currently service seniors and most importantly, Medicare patients. I think they're all scrambling or they're at least finding different channels to pivot. So Kyle, our business guru slash expert consultant, what are you thinking if you're one of those companies?
Yeah, it's one of those things where um, if you're not diversified well enough in your business, and let's say you're entirely focused on a Medicare population with telehealth, right? Maybe 6 months ago, that was an excellent niche and you were doing well and really helping a bunch of people. But now you're looking down the barrel of a gun that it could essentially shut down, all or most of your business. That's a huge challenge. So you have to be able to, as a company, large or small, be able to really pivot either that whole department or the whole company in a way that will still be covered and still be able to help your people. I've definitely seen cases where businesses did that well. A lot of cases, huge companies that we know today started as something entirely different in the beginning. And, it could be exciting to see those kind of pivots happen. Realistically, though, I have a press release that I got from the American Telehealth Association a couple days
Love
ago.
a counter response. All right, let's
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. So, so they're addressing the rumors regarding telehealth extensions, which is an interesting way to phrase it. It is uh, it's not just a rumor; it is official that this date is happening. However, it would only come into effect on April 1st. That the coverage would no longer be if there's no action taken from the government. So that's it, or by Congress. In this case, they're saying, despite the rumors, our conversations on Capitol Hill confirm that President Trump and his team are actively working with Congress to extend vital telehealth flexibilities beyond the looming March 31st deadline. So, and this was by another Kyle Zebley, the senior vice president of public policy for the ATA. So, it is a bipartisan success story, I think, since 2020, and the Trump administration was pretty quick to act in terms of making it affordable, making it, available in 2020. So I would hope that, given the extension that both, presidencies have given to it, we can look for some more permanent solutions moving forward. So hopefully you don't have to make such a huge pivot if you do offer Medicare telehealth services and you're listening to this. Hopefully you're good, but still diversify.
Yep. Keep your eyes peeled on the news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're a senior citizen, fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be curious to see some of the data in terms of, what is the response from the aging population and those covered by Medicare in terms of telehealth, and have they gotten used to it? Those sorts of things. I'm sure there's some studies we can dive into in another episode.
Yep, exactly. Perfect. Well, we'll have to bookmark that as our next episode. If you're curious what telehealth is, link in the description to that video. That's all we got for today, folks. One quick thing. If you like what you're hearing, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Go ahead and click subscribe, the bell icon to get our latest videos as they come up. Just clicking that button supports us. If you're on LinkedIn, just click the like button, click the follow button. Do whatever you'd like. Just click one of those.
And feel free to comment too. We love to hear from you. Thanks, folks. Thanks, Dave.
Take care.